To make this presentation, I have great pleasure in inviting Major General Sanjay Kumar Jha, YSMSM, who was commissioned into infantry, the Sikh Regiment, on 13 December 1980. He hails from India. The General Officer is an alumnus of the National Defence Academy and has excelled in all professional courses. He was also the overall best student during Young Officer Commando course and has won the prestigious Commando Dagger. Besides, he also won the Best Student Trophy during the Counterinsurgents Jungle Warfare course. This General Officer is a graduate of DSSC, Wellington, the Higher Command and coveted National Defence College courses. Major General Jha, in his illustrious career, has held important appointments of instructor in training institutions in India and abroad. Besides, he has served as Deputy Commander and Chief of Staff of an infantry brigade group in UN Mission Congo. He has also held prestigious staff appointments in the Division, Command and Headquarter Integrated Defence Staff. In a service career spanning 33 years, Major General Jha has served extensively in counter-terrorism operations, conventional operations in high altitude, as well as UN peacekeeping operations. With his vast experience in command staff and in-depth knowledge of strategic issues, Major General Jha is ideally suited to give you a comprehensive and insights about Sri Lanka as a hub in Asia, the security perspective. I have great pleasure now inviting Major General Jha from India to make his address.
Honorable Chair, Excellencies, distinguished guests, senior officers of the Defence Forces, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to be here to share my thoughts and viewpoint on such an important topic. And for that, I am indebted to the KDU for inviting me for this symposium. This is my second visit to Sri Lanka as such. In my first visit, I was part of the IPKF that was from 88 to 90. So it's some nostalgic memories. Gentlemen, I'm going to speak to you on Sri Lanka as a hub in Asia, a security perspective. Some of these aspects have been touched by my previous speaker, but I'll try to add certain different flavor to certain important issues which needs to be touched upon. Sri Lanka, or so-called the resplendent island, is synonymous with rich heritage and glorified history, and has always been home to multi-ethnic and multi-religious societies, a land of great diversity. Religion pervades many aspects of life and constitutes a basic element of this diversity. In the backdrop of rapidly changing geopolitical dynamics in the Asia-Pacific region, Sri Lanka's strategic location has given it prominence in the strategic dynamics of major powers, making it thereby gateway to East Asia and a doorstep to South and Southeast Asia, and for the rest of the world. Harnessing this unmatchable geostrategic location which Sri Lanka enjoys, the island nation has the potential to be the focal point of shifting strategic calculus from west to east. The present international security environment is dynamic and uncertain, with recurring disputes, crises all over, and conflicts in many regions. Therefore, the importance of Sri Lanka with its strategic location cannot be ignored. concern over sea lanes and choke points of security is one that any maritime nation cannot ignore in the present day scenario. Interdependence between nations for the smooth movement of global maritime trade cannot be denied, and disruption of which will affect all nations could be crucial to some also. For this reason, it is paramount that the maritime community is prepared to meet any contingency that may arise from these vital sea lanes of communication and choke points and narrow seas coming under threat or at times under siege. Unlike in the past, the present day enemies are dynamic, irregular, networked, and even unorthodox. The Indian Ocean region per se is a discrete geographical entity, being the shortest and most economical route between the Atlantic and the Pacific region. The importance of the region can be gauged from the fact that nearly 17 million tons of oil transit this region every day. The presence of 36 key and 20 littoral peripheral states makes it one of the most strategically sensitive areas in the world. This region also boasts of an impressive 58% of the world's estimated crude oil and 46% of the natural gas reserves. Economic globalization has further enhanced seaborne trade manifold, with 70% of global oil trade and 50% of the container traffic passing through the Indian Ocean and its various choke points. The oil flow to the Strait of Hormuz itself accounts for 2/5 of oil that is globally traded, and hence the sea lanes in the Indian Ocean have been aptly dubbed as the new Silk Route. The strategic relevance of this region is augmented by three defining attributes. First, the existing primary and evolving secondary locations of oil and gas productions, the transportation of crude, refined products, and liquefied gases via sea lanes of communication, and the primary refining, storage, and redistribution nodes that are vital to region's economic productivity. The Indian Ocean is a dynamic and evolving strategic theatre which will be a center stage in the 21st century. I shall talk on four main issues, and therefore it will be covered in four parts. In the part one, basically I will cover the strategic importance of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean region. Part two, the security perspective, which cannot be ignored by any emerging world power. It has to be taken note of. In the part three, what are the opportunities for Sri Lanka to emerge as a hub in Asia? And lastly, just in the passing, a word about certain defense cooperation, which will also assist Sri Lanka in growing ahead. Coming on to the strategic importance of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean region, if you just have a look at the map, which everyone has seen, it comes out very clearly. The location of Sri Lanka itself says everything. It lies at the crossroads of all maritime routes in the region, thus lending it enormous strategic importance. With the traffic routes through the Indian Ocean constantly increasing, and it will increase by the day, the focus of regional as well as global players is towards the states along the sea lanes of communications for ensuring their economic security. And Sri Lanka is located midway between the choke points of Strait of Hormuz and Malacca Strait, and hence by virtue of its strategic location, it serves as a natural transit launch for all the countries. But most of the traffics from Atlantic to Pacific and vice versa, as also dominates the shipping lanes from Middle East to Japan as well as the countries of Oceania. The geostrategic importance of Sri Lanka has been noted throughout the history also. As we all know, during the Second World War, Colombo was the headquarters of the Allied forces in South Asia. During the Cold War also, nations competed for naval supremacy over the Indian Ocean as they considered the ocean as an important waterway to further their political, military and ideological interest. And hence, the littoral states in the region came into prominence. The unique geographical position of Sri Lanka actually makes it a natural aircraft carrier. The Sri Lankan ports, as we know, to name a few, Trincomalee, Colombo, are some of the best ports available in the whole region, in both military as also in economic terms. In fact, Trincomalee Harbour has been described as the finest harbour in the world by many strategists. Now, given the huge volume of traffic which is further likely to grow manifold in the future, the vulnerability factor of the sea lanes of communication or choke points will increase significantly. The vulnerabilities could be in the form of piracy attacks or blockade of certain ports, and therefore protection of these lines of communication becomes an imperative and a potential area of collaboration to the major Asian players. The threat to maritime security also comes principally from the transnational crime syndicates cooperating and operating from Southeast Asia to Europe and beyond, using the same lines of communication for human trafficking, smuggling of drugs and weapons. Thus, Sri Lanka's role in ensuring maritime security through a borderless world is likely to be very, very crucial. In addition to the geographical location, Sri Lanka's importance is also to be seen through the resource matrix it has. Sri Lanka's natural resources, explored and few undiscovered assets add to its advantage, and we all know it is very rich in natural resources like tea, rubber, spices and minerals. Coming on to part 2, security perspective, I had mentioned we have to be alive to the security issues engulfing us and surrounding us and take adequate measures. Some of these issues are: 1. Maritime terrorism. Maritime terrorism was active in the region since the mid-1980s due to the absence of effective maritime safety mechanism. South Asia and its surroundings are thus vulnerable to the terrorist activities. And also now, there is greater connectivity between terrorist groups. Cross-border terrorist networks are operating across the Middle East, Central Asia, South Asia and Southeast Asia. Use of the sea coast by terrorists to gain access to the land for asymmetric warfare against state actors is also quite prevalent, and therefore the imperative need to enhance maritime and coastal security. Maritime piracy. Sea piracy has been active since about 2007, and it has become a significant impediment to global maritime commerce. The estimated annual cost of piracy to global economy is around $7 to 12 billion. The projected cost of piracy by 2014 is expected to be $13 to 15 billion. Maritime piracy is an expected security challenge to Sri Lanka, even though there has been no incidents of piracy in the waters of Sri Lanka, but there were many incidents as far as the Indian Ocean is concerned. Right now, there is, of course, no direct impact to Sri Lanka, but it affects the entire global maritime trade, and thereby Sri Lanka also can be affected in future, and therefore be prepared for it. Drug trafficking. Due to huge profits, the drug trafficking has become one of the most money-spinning means, which is used to finance terror networks and arms smuggling and trafficking. Also, due to the proximity to Golden Triangle and the Golden Crescent, there is likelihood of Sri Lanka becoming a transit point for drugs for East and West as well. Arms smuggling by sea is also one of the areas which needs a concern. These are transported via the sea lanes of communication, and we all know the linkage between drug traffickers and the arms smugglers. Nullifying drug trafficking and arms smuggling is one of the security challenges for Sri Lanka. Sea lanes of communication has been discussed in detail. The entire trade and energy supply in times to come will be through these sea lanes of communication. And therefore, security of this is imperative for everyone. What about security against mining? Mining of waters is one of the cheapest ways to conduct maritime warfare. Mines may be laid by seaborne or airborne vessels. Civilian aircraft or vessels may carry out mining operations, which can even be perpetrated by non-state actors to a limited extent. It is not even necessary to carry out actual mining. The mere threat of a well-calculated disinformation campaign about the laying of a minefield can deter any merchant ship for entering the affected channel or strait. Coming on to the next part, opportunity to emerge as a hub in Asia. There are many opportunities for the country for its dream of becoming a hub in Asia. Few of this, the most important and most significant is the geostrategic location. The advantage which is afforded by virtue of this location has been discussed a little while ago. However, as the nations of the world become increasingly more interdependent, it is expected that sea lanes of communication will become even busier. And with the global trade increasing in size and their importance becoming more. The Pearl of Indian Ocean is located at the junction of crucial maritime trading routes connecting all major producers. Shift of global center of power. The West so far has dominated the strategic landscape, both political and in financial terms. The balance of economic power is already shifting decidedly from the West to the East, as we all know. Today, Asia overshadows most of the major superpowers in economic and financial strength. Geostrategically, the global shift of power to Asia would mark the end of unipolar, comprehensive dominance of global affairs. And once this shift of power to East happens, importance of Sri Lanka, unmatchable strategic location will further get highlighted. Hub port. Due to its location, and since the ancient history, maintaining of a maritime domain became an important factor for Sri Lanka as in the island nation, because it connects the sea lanes from east to the west. In fact, Sri Lanka can emerge as a major trading hub or a Dubai of South Asia in the years ahead. The locational advantage also gives the country an opportunity of contributing towards global economic security in cooperation with other nations having economic dependence on Indian Ocean. Vantage point. Because of its location, it provides tremendous advantage to the country. There are many other opportunities which will assist Sri Lanka in becoming a hub in Asia. A word about defense cooperation. India and Sri Lanka have always enjoyed a very special relationship, not only due to their close geographical proximity, but because of their cultural, religious, and shared history. Even His Excellency, the President, has aptly described India, Sri Lanka as one family. In addition, the relations of Sri Lanka with other littorals and other countries in the region are also very cordial. Some of the defense fields cooperation which can be done and improved upon. One could be joint maritime patrolling with the help of all the countries. Military training is an ongoing world phenomenon, military exercises with all the countries. Defense cooperation needs a boost which is already going on, and with the importance which Sri Lanka will enjoy in the future, this will also get a boost. Cooperation between the navies of various countries and India is bound to develop in the times to come. And it needs no emphasis that India has never harbored any dominating or intrusive designs, any of its friendly neighbor, and it remains committed to respecting the sovereignty and democratic values of Sri Lanka. To conclude, I must say, because of this strategic location, Sri Lanka has challenges and the opportunities, but the opportunities outweighs the challenges. And therefore, this singular aspect affords tremendous opportunity to Sri Lanka to become actually a hub in Asia. Thank you. Jai Hind.